Hello! Today I'm gonna show you how to be bold, which is something all of you are waiting for, I guess. Basically, I'm gonna take a section in the back of my head in a square shape, which this was quite hard on myself, but it's better on other people. I'm just doing a pinkle of this section, so basically I'm rolling the hair around my fingers and I'm stopping it with two pins in a cross shape so they lay flat in the back. I oiled my hair with almond oil and coconut oil, so this is gonna be good for your hair as well. You're gonna do like a mask. And I did the center parting, so after combing all the sides of my hair, I'm twisting them behind the back of my head, and I'm putting some pins in the forehead just to hold them. I'm doing the same thing with the other part, so always twisting the hair in the back of the head, and then I'm using some pins in the front. Now I'm taking a wig cap and I'm putting it on the top of my head, making sure it fits properly. And now we're gonna remove the pins. There's two ways of doing this. You can either remove the pins by pushing them through the cap, but this is gonna leave a hole, and this is what I'm gonna show you here. Or you can just put your fingers under the cap and push them out, so this is not gonna damage your cap. After you removed all the pins, I'm gonna massage my head, so all the hair is gonna take a uniform shape. There's not gonna be any holes when we're gonna be bald. Now with the part in the back of the cap, I'm just gonna use two pins to make it flat, and we're gonna use the bald cap on our heads. You can make this at home. I used to make them before, but I bought this one on Amazon. It was very cheap, only £1, and it's good if you want to do like Halloween stuff or carnival. So I'm gonna put it on the top of my head. It's like a swimming cap. It's just got space for the ears as well. And now I'm gonna stick it with some Prosade glue on a cotton bud. This is a really used glue in special effects. The only thing you have to wait for is for the glue to be clear, because this is the only way it's gonna stick. So I forgot to tell you, I covered my brows with Prit stick glue as well, so they're not gonna get damaged if I got some Prosade on. Make sure you don't put Prosade on your hair because it's gonna rip them out. So after I waited a few minutes for the glue to go clear, I'm gonna stick my bald cap on the top of my head. And now we are moving on to the sides. So it's always the same process. We're gonna use a cotton bud, put the glue, wait for it to be clear, and then we're gonna stick the bald cap to the skin. Now we're gonna take a pair of scissors and we're gonna bring our ears out the cap, because of course we don't want to be a bald person without ears. So after you do a little hole, don't make it too big, otherwise you ruin the cap. You're gonna bring your ears out, and then you see how much you have to remove still. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just adapting the cap to the shape of my ears, and we cut a bit on the side as well. Now we stick this part we cut next to the ear. Always wait for a few minutes and then push it into the skin with the spatula. I swapped my big scissors for small ones because it's easier, and what I do, I always keep this little piece of plastic I cut from the ears because they can be useful if we make a hole in the bocca or if we have to repair any kind of damage. And what I'm doing now is adjusting the cap in the back of my head. It would be easier to do it on another person, but of me, obviously, it was quite hard. Usually you stick the back part with Prose Aid as well, like we did for the front, but in my case I wasn't able to do it because I was alone, so I'm just gonna hold it in the back with a pair of pins, hair pins. Now we're gonna use clear latex to blend the edges of the cap, and I'm using a little piece of sponge I cut from a whole one because we're gonna throw the sponge after, so make sure you don't use a really good one or just take a small piece out of it. As you see, I'm just going around all the edges of the cap and I'm using the latex just to blend it into the skin so that it's not gonna be a massive gap. And as I said before, I used the pretty stick glue to cover my brows. Otherwise, if you put Prose Aid or actually latex on them, you're gonna rip all your hairs out, so be really careful again. For the latex as well, we have to wait for it to be clear as well as the Prose Aid, so it needs to be tacky, and then we can work on the top of it. If you want to make this process faster, make sure you use a hair dryer or just wait for like 5 minutes. Now with the same sponge and latex, we are gonna put some latex also on the cap, so it's not gonna be too uniform, otherwise it looks like plastic. And I now started coloring the cap. I'm using Super Acrylic palette, and the color is like a pale skin color on a stipple sponge for special effects. I'm just gonna stipple the color around on the cap, and we're gonna make some dimensions, so remember to use at least 3 colors. So it's gonna look more three-dimensional, of course. This is the first color I'm using, and now I'll swap to a foundation. I'm using Max Factor Lasting Performance in number 01. I'm doing the same, always stippling around the cap. One product which is amazing to use on both caps is Kryolan TV pan sticks, but I didn't have any here, so that's why I'm using different products. So you can also use what you have at home. So now I'm going to use some red also from the Kryolan palette, because this is going to make it look more three-dimensional, and of course we all have a bit of red in our skins. After the red, I'm going back with the foundation I used before, just to cover it a little bit, and it's just a layering process, as you can see. In the end, I'm gonna set everything with the setting powder, with the clear one. And this was a video if you wanted to learn how to make a ball, not how to make a ball cap, how to put it on your head. And it's a presentation video for the next tutorial I'm gonna do for Halloween, which is Uncle Fester from the Addams Family, and you can see my transformation in this picture. I hope you like it. If you do, please share the video, don't forget to subscribe.